Hi everyone, Sailor Jupiter here, Sailor King World here, Lita here, and today we're going to talk about what our take on Sailor Moon Stars is, and how we think it's going to go. Now keep in mind, so far the only things that anyone has to go by is the showings, or the sneak peek, or which isn't much, you know. And for almost a whole year and a half, no one really knew if we were getting Sailor Moon Stars. There was really no talk about it. The only talk that you had was that it came out in Dawnland in the film hall, in the 6th and the 30th of the 6th month of 2023 YL, and then for the rest of the year there was nothing. The interweb seemed to be mostly hush of any talk about it, and everyone in the Sailor Moon followership didn't really say anything about it. No one made any films about it, either giving their thoughts to why it was taking so long. And the only thing folks would keep on saying is, oh, well, Netflix has a right to it. And for a whole year, for the rest of 2023 YL, you didn't hear nothing. And then it wasn't like to the end of 2023 YL that you even heard then you even learned if that Viz was even working on it. And then for the rest of 2024 YL, you didn't hear nothing else about it. The only thing you did hear is, oh, it's going to come out the disc. Yeah, in the 12th month, and yeah, everyone was happy about that because they thought, oh, well, it's going to come out on disc. And then they learned that it was only coming out in disc for Dawnland and everywhere else, And that was the only thing that folks were talking about. Why isn't it coming out the disc? Well, instead of they should have been talking about why is it not coming out, and where is it going to come out, is what they should have been talking about. And then sometime this year you learned that on the 8th month, the 22nd, that Netflix finally was going to stream it. And then you're like, well, why did we have to yield for a whole year and a half to learn that? And then the showings started coming out, and at first you had the showings in Dawnish, then you had the showing in English, and I guess there would be a showing for all the other speeches that it could be put into, or was being put into. And I think it might play out the way that it played out in the book, in the funny book, that it might play that out in the drawing book, most likely. I don't know how they could, offshoot all that in, but they would. I think they would. It would play out the same way it did in the book, with Demiverse saying or doing all the things that they said and did in the book, since Hearst 1, 2, and 3 and forever followed that. And I think it would be in two halves. Most likely is going to be in two halves. And yes, I will give my thoughts on it, like I did for Hearst 1, 2, and 3 and forever. Give my thoughts on it, And I know there's going to be some folks out there who are going to, stay up all night and into the early morning just so they can be the first to watch it when it drops. That's what I call it, drop. I don't know why. and then if they don't have to be anywhere, then sleep the rest of the morning and midday and after day off. Well, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to yield I'm going to yield until and watch that and that or later that day, and then get my thoughts on it. You know, and this leads into another asking thing: what is next for Sailor Moon after this? Because there's only 5 followings of the drawing show, and there were only 5, followings of the books, unless you think of the outstanding books that came out, years after the show. It's the years after the first books came out that talk about, the sailor fighters and what they're doing after stars and everything, and about how, they got children and the children look like them and whatever. Or, there's side worlds and they got twinners and things like that. Which I don't know if any of those books are ever going to become drawing shows or not. Your guess is good as mine. So, yeah, I do look forward, to Sailor Moon Stars, because that's what the English for it is. Cosmos is a Frenchish borrowed, is a Hellenish borrowed word. So the English word would be stars. And that would be true. And I know there's going to be someone out there that's going to, give, someone who's going to most likely beat me into giving their thoughts on it, but oh well, it's not a dare or a stretch, who watches it first and who gives their thoughts on it first. But I think it's going to be good. I think that's going to be good for me. I can't speak for anybody else, but I think Sailor Moon Star is going to be a good one, because then we're going to get to see how Sailor Galaxia goes by, getting folks, star seeds in this one, and how the other, I guess you call them the other Sailor fighters, and how they do it, and how the Outers and the Inners and the Sailor Starlights are handled in this. So anyway, if you like this film, then follow us. If you like this film, give us a like. Follow us. And also share and playlist this film. I, Sailor Jupiter Lita, or Sailor King ruled, and I'll see you later. Goodbye. Farewell.